All right. A very rainy hello, everybody, from the upper Midwest, the Rock and Roll Geezers show. You're a rock news outlet here. Yeah. We had spring last week, and this week things have sort of turned to the south. So we're hoping for the very best. Nonetheless, the rock world hasn't let us down this week, man. We got some Skid Row news and no Springsteen. Fred Durst, Hollywood Vampires, AC/DC. Oh, very exciting update on a new movie coming out, a sequel that we are hoping the very best of, and a little bit of other things here. But can't do it on my own, of course. Got to have my co-host Doc Vox helping me out here. So what's shaking there, Doctor Rooney?
Yeah, doing okay. Yeah, it's definitely the rainy season here. It's and we're in April. It is April 1st, April Fool's Day. Couldn't think of a good one, so I don't like fooling our viewers anyway. But
Through
he
that.
did. I did see a good one today. Robert Fripp said he's joining OnlyFans. Did you see that one?
Yeah, when he's naked with
Yeah,
his
he's
guitar
naked with just
equipment.
the guitar. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I
But
saw I saw a few that I thought no, can't be real, so I moved on. But yeah,
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 yeah, it's always fun to see what they come up with. But
well,
yeah, thanks for checking in. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, man. Go. I was just gonna say that with everything that goes on around us anymore, you can't figure out what's real and what's made up. What's an
Yeah,
April
April
Fool
Fool's Day
anymore?
is kind of obsolete at this point, man.
Yeah,
It's the end
yeah.
of the day.
So welcome again, Doc. Freaking
Yeah,
A, man.
yeah. Thanks for checking in. Another week of world rock news, and yeah, we do this every single week. So if you haven't, please subscribe so you don't lose us. And we do it every week. So if you're watching an older episode, this is now an older episode. There's newer ones every week. You can go back and keep up with things. So
That's
yeah,
right.
please do so. And yeah, this week, well, it's kind of the big news, or the one that we saw the most articles on anyway,
Holy cow, yeah.
is a Skid Row situation, their singer situation, and it's yeah, quite interesting.
There they are. There's a 1989 Skid Row behind me there. Holy cow. Look at that hair. Look at that hair and denim. My goodness. Probably have leather trousers on too because they were rock stars. But yeah, nonetheless, Skid Row, boy, oh boy, their singer, Eric Gronwall, has basically retired due to his health. He was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. There's the key
Yeah,
word, leukemia.
yeah,
Back in March of 2021, and his recovery, it's taken for he's set his priorities straight. He's taking care of his health and his life and his family right now. So he's kicking back from Skid Row, and he's got an autobiography due in September, which I find interesting. I don't know, is he that interesting a guy? Maybe he is. You know, uh,
yeah.
uh,
Maybe just the battle of all that. I mean, he
the
had the
battle
bone
himself.
marrow transplant. He had the whole deal, man. He's yeah. So yeah, that in itself might be a inspiring story. Just but yeah, he's decided to come off the road, and they still have a few dates that they have to take care of. And well, tell them who stepped in.
Isn't that amazing? That would be, oh gosh, brain fart. Lizzie Hale, for crying out loud. Of all the people who is stepping in, that would have been probably one of my last choices. But she being she was a hardcore fan. Growing up.
Right? Yeah,
That
yeah.
really gave her the impetus to kick some ass, and which she really does. And so she's going to be filling in for some gigs. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
just the ones that they've already committed to, the ones they got on the books. So they'll be getting those gigs taken care of.
oh boy, that's
And
going to be something. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be the one of them's in Illinois. I'm not sure where. I just overheard they were going through the schedule, and it was one in Illinois. But if it's around here, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know when
Yeah,
it
but that,
is.
that's very that's very cool though. Uh, but beyond that, who knows? Who knows where they go from here? And of course, had to put his name in the book there. There's old Sebastian again. I didn't think it would be over and done with so quick, he said about, his original stint with Skid Row, where I believe he performed the first four albums they put out or CDs or whatever. But now he's getting that itch sort of like, guys, we're running out of time. And boy, there must be such a rift between them two, because this would be the perfect time. If Skid Row wants to make some money, glam onto a major tour or something, and boom, bring in the Bucks. But they'll probably just end up playing, big clubs and shit. Whereas I think if they had Goofball back, it'd probably be money, money in the bank. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it. Oh gosh, well, it's been a couple months ago now, where Sebastian was kind of making kind of some noise about wanting to get back with the band, and wanting to bury the hatchet and that kind of thing. And Snake Sabo, to I don't know, he seems like he's kind of the de facto leader, I guess. I don't know, maybe a Rachel guy, maybe, but anyway, so he's kind of saying, hey, we've never even thought about it. That's not even in the picture. But now things have changed. Now your singer's dropped out. And
Yeah,
it seemed like it would be kind of a no brainer. But then again, I mean, this guy's that big of an asshole, man, to deal with that big of a
sure.
prick, man. And
Yeah,
that's probably why they're bringing in Lizzie Hale, to just kind of let's not make any haste decisions. Let's get her in, and we'll take care of the dates we
take care of the
got
gigs, and
before we
then
move
yeah.
on. Let's plot our course carefully here and see what's going on. But
Well, they tried to unite in 2016, but that fell through. And then Sebastian says, I can definitely see what's happening considering they play the same songs I play. And when I
oh
get a
yeah, no doubt.
substantial royalty check for an album I did with musicians that I haven't been with in the same room since 1996, I feel like a piece of shit because we should be giving something back to the fans that have made this great life possible. Well, maybe, yeah, like you said, Doc, maybe Sebastian needs to really fire up the humble pie because if he's that big of an asshole that they won't talk to him since 96 or whatever,
Well,
woo,
here's a little digging I've done, and Sebastian
ah,
seems like he's sincere about it, and willing to do some things. He's talking about remember the Metallica movie, Some Kind of Monster, and basically the whole movie is them with a therapist, and there's a
yeah,
therapist helping them work out their issues, working with a band, and meeting everybody's needs and all that kind of stuff.
uh-huh.
And he brought that up. He's like, maybe that's what we need to do to get back and have a therapist with. He said Aerosmith's done it, Metallica's done it. I'm sure other bands have done it. Let's get a therapist in there and get things worked out. And because obviously, dude, it's a cash cow, man.
Cash cow
I
at
mean,
this point.
otherwise,
Oh,
who's going to see just Skid Row? Since total, they've had, well, now with Lizzie Hay will be their seventh vocalist.
yeah,
Does
see,
anybody know any of the other ones other than
no,
Brian Well, who just left, and Sebastian? That's it. So,
yeah,
I mean, I guess they could go back and get one of the other five guys, but, what, they're
no.
just
The
going to keep
the
playing
people
small
want to
clubs
see
or
the
whatever?
original.
No, they want to start hitting some big venues and headlining some tours and stuff.
Yeah,
Man, they
yep.
got Sebastian on. Look at, we talked the same thing. Point Creed. Same thing with Creed. They got back together. Look, at sure enough, man, they're selling out. It's a
Oh, their
major big
shows,
tour, man.
selling out
So, oh
big
yeah,
time, and so
and their
it's half a
tickets are
year
going
away.
for more than a normal ticket as well. So I mean,
Oh yeah, holy
that's a
cow!
definitely the being received well by the fans, and a Skid Row reunion would be too. So
Yeah,
seems like a no brainer. And I
well,
got to think they're just kind of biding their time and kind of seeing how it plays out, and I got to think that's what's going to happen, man. I really do.
it should. It's called the music business. It's a
Right?
business. At the end of at the end of the day, it's a business. And God, I've worked jobs where I hated people I worked with. The biggest, management sucking mothers. Just really,
Right?
what I'm talking about, Doc Vox. You've been there. The real jerk offs. But once you get older, you all get older. I think you come to terms and say, we need to do this because the hammer's hot right now. Boom, the fire's hot. Boom. We'll see. We'll see if they can get it together because yeah, that would
Yeah.
be
If they
something.
bring in another vocalist or a total new vocalist, or go back to one of their old ones
Yeah,
and leave Sebastian out, it's just kind of, I
go
don't think
play
it's
the
ever
big
going to happen.
go play the
I,
big clubs. That's
yeah, I
where
don't think
that's
it'll
where you're
ever
gonna be.
happen. I mean, nobody's getting any younger.
Yep,
I
yep,
mean,
yep, yep.
that's, but
So yeah, get with it, guys. Come on. Oh, speaking of get with it. Ooh, here we go. Uh, we talk about the boss every now and then. Well, he's got a movie. They're gonna be doing a movie called Nebraska, which is about the name of one of his best albums, correct?
Well, the movie's named "Deliver Me from Nowhere," and it's based on the album Nebraska,
You got
which
it.
of
No,
course
of
I
course,
have. Of
of
course,
course.
this I don't care what comes of this. I'm going to see this, man.
Sure.
This fascinates me. That's one of my favorite albums. The songs in the album just lend themselves to a cinematic kind of thing. So yeah, I'm sure this. The thing that bothers me though, reading this, is they got the actor someone might be familiar with, Jeremy Allen White, who was in a movie or a show, The Bear. And I guess he's won some awards for it. It's pretty well
I'm
known.
not
I don't
familiar
know
with him,
about it. I think
so
it's on one of the streaming services,
okay. All right.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
there
not
you go.
familiar with it. And they make it sound like he's a shoe-in to play him, but there's nobody's contacted him about. I think this is just some internet Yahoo just thinking that he would be good for the part. But
Ah,
other than that, yeah, Bruce is involved. His manager John Landau, long time, he's involved. Yeah, it comes from a book. Warren Zanes wrote a book, "Deliver Me from Nowhere," and based on the songs of that album, man. And yeah, they're very stark songs. Very it's a solo album. It's just him, and then the songs started. They're demos. He
okay.
started,
Really?
did
Okay.
recorded on a 4-track in his bedroom, and brought it, and it's like, you know what, this is what we're putting out, man. And I mean, it's raw and it's stripped down, and then the songs are real stark about murdering sprees and just
Oh,
I mean really cool stuff, man. So
wow.
yeah,
Well, that'll be
I can't wait
interesting.
to see the movie come out, man.
Sure, that ought to be
The song
interesting.
itself, Nebraska, is based on a movie. You might be familiar, old Martin Sheen movie, Badlands, where he's traveling across Nebraska and parts of that area, the Plain States, I guess. And him and his girlfriend are just on this crime spree and killing people and stuff and everything. So
Oh,
yeah, it's kind
really?
of weird that the song's based on a movie. Now there's a movie going to be based on the album. But
Well, there you go,
yeah,
man.
I'm all about it, man. I am all in on this one,
The
man.
boss.
Hopefully it will
Yeah.
be well done. But
Well, yeah, I would imagine, if
you
it's a
know,
boss, it better be well done. Crying
yeah,
out loud.
yeah, he's involved. So yeah, he's not gonna approve any crap, I'm sure.
There you go. And here we go right here. Oh boy. Looks like Billy Corgan and Fred Durst right behind me there, looking their very best. Yeah, obviously, they're looking great in those pictures. Well, they're each going to be hosting their own podcast on Bill Maher's podcast network. And the funny thing is, Durst. I'm gonna go see him this summer. I got it. I got to see Corey Feldman. If nothing else, I got to go just to see
Oh yeah,
Corey
what's it
Feldman.
called? The Loserville tour or
Probably
something? Yeah, yeah, something
whatever
like
it
that.
is. It's because actually I dig some Limp Bizkit stuff. It's got a great groove. I dig the shit out of it. But so I'll be going to that one. But yeah, Durst, his Fred Durst podcast is going to be about UFOs and conspiracy theories. No boy, that ought to be great. But yeah, the Bill Maher, I didn't even know he had his own podcast network, but he does. It's Club Random, as it says here, as per Variety, the two shows will operate under Mars Club Random flagship podcast, where they will host their own respective shows. So there you go, man. Yeah, Fred Durst, and nothing about Corgan's yet about his content. Yes.
Well, we talked a while back. Remember, he's the president of wrestling. Which one?
Oh,
NWA wrestling. Yeah. So
you're right. He could
I'm
make
sure
it
there's going
a
to be a lot of that, and he'll probably be having a lot of wrestlers on as
that could
guests.
be
And
interesting. Actually,
you know,
I follow a lot of, well, not, I follow a few of our classic wrestlers from back in the day, Jake the Snake and Ric Flair and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's a world traveler, man. He's got him and his wife just flying all over all the time on the move and posting it. It's very, very much fun. And on Sunday nights, they got the WWF has all different wrestling programs on one of the pro A&E or something. They're going to find lost treasures from way back when. Just the coolest stuff. I'm a big old school wrestling guy. Back with the Crusher and the Bruiser. Yeah, hey there, you betcha. So yeah, I hope he does that. That'll be cool. Probably be a lot more fun than UFOs and conspiracy theories. So
yeah. How much can you really do on that? I mean, I guess there's a lot there, but I don't know. Seems like that'd be kind of dry after a while. But
uh,
that's what Fred Durst wants to do, so that's what he's going to do. And
Well,
Yeah, the
that's what
Billy Corgan we talked to. He's got a reality show coming out, and it's kind of just a day in the life of Billy Corgan kind of thing, and it's going to be very much revolved around the wrestling part and then the rock part too. But there'll be a lot of the wrestling. I think it's
I'll be darned.
I think it's kind of to promote it, really, to promote the wrestling part is kind of probably
That's
the main
very
part of
cool
that.
though.
But yeah,
I dig the heck out of that. So yeah, Oregon and Durst. And of course
yeah,
Martell's
Limp
rock.
Bizkit. I don't know. That's never. But you know what?
Oh,
If I was of a
it's
certain
all about
age,
the nookie, Doc. It's
yeah,
all
that's what they say.
about the nookie. You know that. It is. I mean, it's the truth or whatever. People may not like it, but it's all about the nookie. So
No,
and
but just like I said, though, if I was of a certain age, the music, yeah, I mean, I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm gonna do this and then it kicks in, man. It's just like, yeah, I'd be all about it if I was like 17 years old, man. I
yeah,
get it, but yeah,
I'll
just
probably be
it was
sitting
just
down during it now, but
yeah,
nowadays it's
a
all
little
about the
past it.
statin. So with
Yeah.
our age, it's all about the statin. What kind of statin you taking? Yeah, mine's really good. My good statin. Oh man. But anyway, Mar says to Variety, I never knew Fred or Billy, but something good happens there, and I can feel like I'm best friends for life with someone who I just talked to for an hour and a half. That's the quality we want, a nighttime feel. So, Mars giving it a shot. We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I'm aware of this podcast. I saw the episode with Billy Corgan. I think I saw one with Fred Durst. This sounds familiar. He another one recently with Chris Rob. So whenever he has like rock stars on, I'll kind of catch it. But yeah, other than that, I can take it or leave it. But yeah, it might be interesting. Having Billy Corgan on his side of things, doing the interviewing or whatever. But yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, why not? Okay, and oh, here we go. Where are they? Where are the boys? There they are, Hollywood vampires. At least three of them, three of the Hollywood vampires. This is
No,
exciting.
they are.
Uh, a documentary is going to be coming up uh, 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 about the Hollywood vampires called Unleashed Spirits. And the Hollywood vampires, this is a cool story, man. I love the story about this. The Hollywood vampires were originally the band takes its name from a drinking club consisting of mainly Alice Cooper, who's legend, one of the originators, Keith Moon, Ringo Starr, Mickey Dolenz, Harry Nilsson, and they ended up including John Lennon, in the mix there. But they would get together at night and just see who could outdrink the rest. Wow. And I got to imagine Alice would have been right up there with the best of them in that respect because he was a
Yeah,
legendary Budweiser drinker back in the day.
yeah, it started at the Rainbow
Did it
in
really?
LA. And
Oh, excellent.
they would all there's like a loft back there. It was kind of like a little off to the side where that's where they would go and drink. And the waitress made a comment about something about I only see you guys at night. You're like drinking vampires or something, and they come up with Hollywood vampires. And yeah, the guys that would they had like there was a club. There was a plaque up there. There was like a club, the members, and Alice Cooper was the president. So you got to think it's a club
Of
all about
course.
drinking. He had to be the biggest drinker. I'm assuming, man.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that was the initiation. Was you had to outdrink like whoever was around. That was the thing. So he was the president, and Keith Moon was vice president, and then some guy Bob Brown, which I don't know where this guy came from, but he was the
Hey there,
treasurer.
people. I'm Bobby Brown.
No, I don't think it's
Hey,
that
I'm
Bob
the cutest
Brown.
boy in town. Not that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure it's different. But yeah, members Harry Nielsen, Ringo Starr, Mickey Dolenz, honorary members John Lennon, Keith Emerson,
Ah,
kind of unofficial members at Brian Wilson, Iggy Pop, and then some other folks that kind of were in and out was Keith Allison from Paul Revere and the Raiders, John Belushi. So that must have
wow.
been early,
Holy cow. Yeah, yeah.
and Mark Bolan from T
Ah,
Rex,
sure.
Bernie Taupin,
Wow.
and then I named some Beatles fans may remember Klaus Vorman. He
Klaus.
was part of it too. So
Wow. Oh,
and
that
so
what
yeah they got the group together and decided to use that name and You
It's
know,
quite a group, man.
yeah, the
Quite a
first
group.
album, they put out the first album, and it's kind of an honor to rock stars that had died in the '70s from
Right,
partying too
right.
much and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, they did like a Who cover and a Zeppelin cover and stuff like that. So, and then they've done another album since then. So I mean, it's they're touring. It's a whole. I mean, kind of one of the things that kind of started out very organically, and you know, Alice saw Johnny Depp play somewhere, and he was like, "Wow, I had no idea this guy could play like that." And so Johnny's talking to Joe. You know, they had nothing going on. Aerosmith wasn't doing anything, and yeah, well, why not? They got together, jam, put out the album, started playing around, tours
Well, let's
popping up,
face it.
and
If
another
he's good enough
album.
to play with Jeff Beck, he's got to be pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
yeah, they were
Let's
really
face
good
it.
friends. Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah, they
played,
were real
so
good friends.
yeah, the guy must be able to play. I haven't seen him perform live, but you know, they ain't gonna let him play just because he's an actor. You know, he's got to have some chops on the fretboard,
Right? Oh
especially
yeah.
for Jeff Beck. Damn, boy, I imagine he's pretty damn picky about his, who he plays with, so or who he
Yeah,
played
he's
with.
not going to waste time with the amateur, that's for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
But
and they
so they had a bunch of folks playing on the album too. That McCartney, Paul McCartney, Duff McKagan, Robbie Krieger, Orianthi. You know, you familiar with her?
Orianthi, yeah,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Jackson's guitarist, yeah.
yeah. Dave Grohl, Slash, Brian Johnson, Joe Walsh, Perry Farrell, Kip Winger, who of course played bass with Alice
Yes, he did.
back
I
in the day,
saw him. I think it was
and
'88.
Zach Starkey as well played in there. So yeah, they, you know, it's one of those things where let's get
Morello,
old
Geezer Butler,
let's get
everybody was
let's
anybody.
let's get old friends together and put out an album, man. So
Yeah, yeah, and they were playing last. They had a tour last year. Uh, Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp, Joe Perry, Tommy Henriksen, who's a guitar player. If you've seen Alice Cooper lately, you've seen Tommy Henriksen. He's one of his guitar players. He's just he's just got a really, yeah, Alice, really amazing. One of the survivors, because boy, he was doomed. Man, if you saw pictures of him back in his hard partying days, he was like a skeleton. He looked like death
right.
walked over. And man, the golf saved him, man. Golf saved Alice, and now he
And
we got the
and
Holiday
he just
Band.
started doing the radio show again. You got
Yeah, yeah.
Alice's whatever it's on. It's on
Just
97 One the Drive. They got
he
it on there.
just can't get enough, man. So freaking A. Way to go, Alice. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Here's an interesting story I saw. AC/DC, they're going on tour. And it came out that the first day tickets went on sale. They sold 1.5 million tickets on the first day of sale for their European tour. So, needless to say, I don't think they're gonna have a problem selling out every doggone thing they go to. So, that's pretty cool. That's a good. Although it is AC/DC, so I guess we're not surprised.
Yeah, so
But
far they just announced the European leg. They haven't announced anything in North America, but you know it's coming.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be same reaction. You know, I'm sure
Oh
in
yeah.
Chicago it's gonna be Wrigley Field probably or Soldier Field. I
Worst
don't know.
place ever. That's the problem. People who don't know, who aren't in Chicago, Wrigley Field is like the worst place to have a concert, mainly because of the parking. It's in a neighborhood. It sits smack dab in a neighborhood, and it's just no parking anywhere.
Yeah,
I, I
the drive in and out's pretty brutal, man.
I used to
You got
play a
to
club like a block from Wrigley Field, and we'd have to pull up into the back door, uh, to unload our equipment, and then go find someplace, like 2 blocks away under the L tracks. It's like,
oh
oh,
two
this
blocks
is
if you're
safe.
lucky.
This is safe. Yeah. So I hated it, but they'll probably be going there. But what's very interesting, we were all wondering, people are wondering who's their opening act going to be. Oh, where is she? Oh, there she is. Taylor Momsen from the Pretty Reckless. They're going to be having the Pretty Reckless supporting them on their European tour. And of course, we've talked Taylor Momsen. She played Cindy Lou Who in the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. So that's Cindy Lou Who right there. Taylor Momsen. And yeah, Pretty Reckless are going to be opening for them. And boy, good for them. Good for her. I dig her. She's a hard rock singing chick. Great voice. So
Yeah,
AC/DC,
definitely a
man.
good gig to land, that's for sure, man. And
Well,
and to watch those guys every night, that's gonna be quite a treat.
oh,
So
speaking of tours, have we mentioned the Rockville tour?
yeah,
We
yeah, we
probably
talked
did.
about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was okay, because we had another one come up, and I think I eliminated the newest one. We got the Rock Fest in Cadett, Wisconsin. That's coming up. We'll have to talk about that. There's a lot of the festival. The amount of major festivals is pretty stunning. With like hundred of bands and shit. And then we keep hearing about the suffering, lower class of bands, if you will, the less than one percenters, who struggle. And now, but these major tours are just going nuts. They ain't canceling out. So, gosh, we got the Rock Fest up in Wisconsin, and geez, they got an interesting lineup. I do have to talk about that next week, but we'll leave that be for now. But in any case, good for Taylor Momsen, and like you say, I won't be. I'm sorry, it may be ACDC, but no, I'm not gonna go into Wrigleyville and try and find parking and just all the hassle. That's the thing about Tinley Park is it's so little hassle, really, considering I generally can get us into the first 3 rows of parking. that sort of helps. I remember having to park way in the cheap seats there and just walk and, have to take
Right.
breaks on the way up, to let the old ticker settle down. But now, basically, yeah, we found a way. I don't even park in the handicap spot because that's like 5 rows back. I usually get first, second row, sometimes third. So it'll all be good. But see, that's what I like. I don't, at our age, no, I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to stand up. My back hurts. Get off my lawn. You know what I'm talking about, Doc. So I wish they'd come to Tinley, but it's just not big enough. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, no way they'll be there.
you're right, Wrigley. Hmm.
And quite honestly, I'm sure the tickets can be a little rich for
Ooh,
my blood, man.
yeah, mine too. Yeah, sorry, but
Anything decent anyway.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's another thing too. I'm at the point now. If I go to show, I mean, we go to show and we sit in the line. It's not too bad. But if I'm gonna go to a big show like that, I'm gonna be up there, man. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't want to. I don't want to be in the cheap seats. I don't
yeah,
want to.
yeah, anymore. But boy, yeah, I'd imagine how
And
much
then
that's
yeah, that's
gonna
what I mean.
cost.
The tickets should it's not worth it. So I mean, yeah, unfortunately, we missed some of our heroes' last tours coming around, but
Yeah. No,
there's plenty of others. Plenty of
we'll be
others.
seeing some good ones though this year. So, speaking of, here's an interesting thing. Where are they? There they are. Ah, yes. Derek Smalls, Nigel Tufnell, uh, oh
There,
gosh, what,
Derek St. Hubbins.
Dane Hubbins. Oh gosh,
Sorry
they
to say
are.
Derek St. Holmes. That's Ted
Wait,
Nugent's old singer. Yeah, but yeah, Derek St. Hubbins. I think. Yeah.
here we go. I think we mentioned they're putting out a sequel of Spinal Tap. Now this is interesting. This is either gonna, boy, they big stakes here, big stakes. But I find interesting, first off, they're gonna have Metallica's drummer Lars Ulrich and Red Hot Chili Peppers Chad Smith in there. So you already know what's going to happen to them. They're going to explode or something. They're going to turn. They're going to come spontaneously combust, and it's going to be nothing but a green globule on the drummer's stool, or like what was that? Stubby Joe Pete who choked on his own choked on vomit. And the thing was, it wasn't his vomit. It's just so yeah. I'm sure they're gonna go through a whole bunch of drummers, and there's gonna be all sorts of people on it. Fran Drescher, she's gonna be back as publicist Bobby Fleckman. Hi, Bobby Fleckman. Yes, the hostess with the mostest. Yeah, yeah. So this will be great, and this is what's exciting. This is what gives me hope. They're bringing in the crew. They're bringing along some of the crew from the Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman, the
Right,
Mighty
right.
Winds. They're bringing in Don Lake and John Michael Higgins. You've seen John Michael Higgins and everything. He's
Yeah, yeah. He's in all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
he's so great. So I have hope, but at the same time, with Rob, what's his name, directing it, uh,
Yeah, Rob Reiner, he
Meathead,
directed the
that could be trouble.
original, so he'll be doing
That
this
could be
one.
trouble. You
Yeah,
know,
they got folks like you said, there's Lars and Chad. They're going to be playing short-lived drummers. Yeah, exactly as you'd expect. Got Elton John, Paul McCartney, and I don't know. This has got a Blues Brothers 2000 smell all over it, dude.
that's
To
what I'm
me,
worried about.
I don't know.
That's
But
what I'm
then
worried
again,
about.
you know
Yeah,
what though? I mean, some of the other movies that Christopher Guest and Michael McKean, these guys have done together, The Mighty Wind and those kind of movies, they're well written movies. I mean, they don't, but then again, Blues Brothers, you got Dan Aykroyd. He's no slouch either, man. So, not to say that
I'm
they could miss
well.
out. You're right. This could be a big hit. It could be a big miss, man. So,
You're right though about Blues Brothers 2000. Yeah, because I figured Aykroyd did it like probably to put his kids through college or something. Just for that reason. Yeah, there's
yeah,
no other
you're
reason
right.
why he would have
Yeah,
done that. That was so horrible. Although my friend who always found something good in everything, bless his soul, he would mention the jam at the end with all the blues musicians, because just
right.
such he was a big blues fan, and so he
Well, that's
always
the
would
thing. They just
think
had
that.
so many guest appearances that and that seems like it's kind of going down that same road, man. Just loaded up with guest appearances,
Yeah,
and
Charlie Muscle White,
if
what?
you're kind of forcing the issue a little bit, man, just
Well, that movie
just
was
let it
truly
be
horrible.
natural.
Gosh,
So
that was just it was like Meatballs 2, one of
right,
them
right.
things. Another Aykroyd total disaster, or so. Oh no,
Bill
Caddyshack
Murray.
2,
Oh,
Caddyshack 2,
Caddyshack too.
where
Yeah,
they had Dan Aykroyd take over as the goofy whatever, and it was and this you're right, this could be problematic. I hope not. But boy, jeez, I don't know, Doc. What do you?
yeah, yeah. It could be like I said. Either way, it's going to either hit big or miss big. I don't think it's going to be middle of the road. So we'll see.
Yeah, it was supposed to be released in March uh of this year, but obviously, no, I think it says here the sequel to This Is Spinal Tap was originally slated to be released in March 2024 to coincide with the original film's 40th anniversary. But with filming and production currently underway, however, it is unclear when the sequel will be released. So, but hopefully this year. Yeah, boy, you're right though. Every jeez. Ah, we'll see. We'll see if they can find some kind of edge. Because the first one was really goofy, but yeah, you're right. The Blues Brothers is the perfect example. They could go really off the deep end and just totally lose it with all the caricatures and shit.
Yeah,
But
just
we'll
trying too hard and just
trying too
like I said,
hard.
forcing them into the script, kind of thing, and just it
Ah,
starts to
well, we will see. We can
We
hope for the
shall
best.
see.
We can hope for the best, but expect the worst.
There you go.
Oh, and finally, here's an interesting little ditty. Ditty. Here's this goofy
We're not
band
going to
called
talk about Diddy, man.
Did he do it? Did he die?
Yeah, no,
Don't
we're not going to talk about
don't
Diddy. We're not going to talk
no.
about Beyonce either. But man, we're not going to talk about Diddy.
Sorry, not interested in them folks. They've yeah, whatever. Here's an article. I saw like a couple months ago there was a group that invaded a Wendy's and did some punk band or whatever. Did a pop up concert at a Wendy's or something like that. From what I remember. Well, here comes another a story in that vein. It's a band called Silly Goose. There they are, right there. Silly Goose while the rock feed headline says Silly Goose shuts down Chick-fil-A drive-through for new metal show. And you're thinking, oh boy, that's really radical. And there's a video on there. They got a video on the post showing them playing through the drive-through. What's the only problem with that, Doc?
Yeah, it didn't shut down anything, man. It was on a Sunday.
It was on a
They just
Sunday.
did, yeah, where Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday. They just,
Yeah.
you know.
Chick-fil-A closed. I saw
But
that.
which Rock Feed, we get a lot of our stories from Rock Feed. It's a good source, and it's for them to kind of put this clickbait up there, a little
It is a
surprising,
little
but
clicky baity. They did
yeah,
play in the drive-through,
yeah,
but they didn't. They left
a
out
little
the important
surprising. But
part.
the reason we're
Yeah,
bringing it up though is this band does do that kind of stuff, and they've done it at they did it at McDonald's, they've done it at a Waffle House where they'll just pop up and start playing. Yeah, they're kind of a thrash punk kind of, I don't know what their sound exactly you want to
yeah,
categorize it
yeah.
as, but and to the point at the Incarceration Festival that I think most people are familiar with, they would just pop up and they were playing out in the parking lot, just like they do with these other places.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the promoters or whatever, the people that put the fest together took notice of them and then put them on the bill and put them on other bills as well.
Boom.
So
Wow.
to
It
just
paid
pop
off.
up and I like a young, hard-working, hungry band, man. I just do, and these
Yeah.
guys, they definitely fit in that category, man.
They found a bit of a
They're
niche, eh?
yeah, they're just out there, getting their name out there and playing at places where people are gonna take notice of them, and hey, good for them, man.
Yeah, well, they must have the chops. So more power to them. Boy, oh boy. Chick-fil-A, yeah. Yeah. Don't not open on Sundays. Wow, must be
And
nice.
here's the thing about that, okay? They have a restaurant. I don't know if they still do. This story is a couple years old, but they had a restaurant at the Atlanta Falcons stadium,
Yeah.
but they're not open on Sundays. Football games are on Sundays.
Ooh, oh,
Why
you're
would they have
right.
it on?
That was
You
sort of
know,
stupid, huh?
just for
Yeah.
Monday Night Football or what, man? I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Oh,
Anyway,
well, day of rest, I guess. Some people need it, but not us, not the rock world, because the rock world never rests. Doggone it. Jesus, crazy. Crazy stuff out there. Man, oh man, I think we got, who do we got coming up? We got, Uriah Heep coming into our area, I think next month. Yeah, 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 it may be worth checking. I don't know. One original member, another of these groups, they've been playing with with the guys they've had now for probably longer than the original group was
oh yeah, that's almost
together.
always the
But
case
but
with these
still,
bands. Yeah,
God, I
yeah.
just that just just sucks. It just sucks. But whatever. A lot of other bands coming around the area. The summer schedule filling up. A lot of cool bands coming. So, of course, the big one for me is going to be Creed. Obviously, I'll have to wear my own prison T-shirt. Obviously,
There you
band
go.
shirt. Just to show it off again. I posted a whole bunch of Creed videos on my own personal YouTube channel because we did a bunch of gigs. We did, I finally decided I better get on my VHS tapes converted to digital before the tapes
Right.
degrade so much, and I found out like 5 gigs we did that I actually taped. So I pulled some songs off of
Oh,
there,
right
and
on.
yeah, yeah. I suggest anybody else better get her done. I don't know how long the VHS is gonna last. The quality of them, so. Better get it done. I just happen to have a actual VHS player, so they're sort of rare to find anymore. But in any case, enough of the BS. Another cool show, Doc. Freaking A, man. What a gloomy day out. Boy, oh boy. So yeah, it's good to get together and talk a bit. Uh, Again, thanks for joining us, folks. If you can, subscribe, man. Yeah. It's just bizarre. YouTube, the algorithms are blowing our minds right now. But if you can subscribe, like a video, make a comment, and freaking hey, why don't you take us home there, eh, Bob?
Yes, sir. Another week in the books, man. So glad you could all join us. And yeah, like I said, we do it every week. So we'll be back next one day. One day. How did I say that? We'll be back next Monday with a whole new batch of news stories from the rock world. And we'll hope you'll join us then too. So until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.